So some top tips for winning through redundancy and actually getting through the other side. Firstly, be prepared for your exit. So many people know that they're going to be losing their jobs and in fact have lots of time to plan for it. And like most things in life, they leave everything to the last minute. So make sure you take advantage of every opportunity you have in order to actually work through your strategies so that you can leave in the right way. And know your rights. Something I've learned, and certainly with all the clients I've helped in the years since, is that don't believe that your organisation will necessarily do everything in the right way. As much as I'm sure they want to do things in the right way in terms of the HR and legal stuff, often they do cut corners and sometimes things go wrong. So make sure you know your rights, you know what you're entitled to, and where you do have an opportunity, because depending on the level you're working at, you may have an opportunity to actually negotiate an even better exit deal. And for some people that might even be just being able to leave early and actually still get paid on what is termed as gardening leave. But another key point is to ensure that you leave on good terms. It's so important that you do have a good track record and it stays with you for the rest of your career. And unfortunately, or fortunately, whichever way you look at it, it's a very small world and you never know who knows somebody else. And just by saying something or doing something slightly out of turn before you leave could end up as a downfall for you later on. So please ensure that you leave on good terms. If you have outplacement support, then do yourself a favour, take advantage of it, because you never know when it's going to put you in good stead for the future. Once you understand the key aspects that are going to help you move forward with your career, and it's not just about writing CVs and interview skills, there's much more to it than that, then these are the things that can put you in good stead for the future. If you're not offered outplacement support of any kind, then it may be that as part of your exit that you could have an opportunity to negotiate that as part of your deal. I can't guarantee that, but if you don't ask, you don't get. Another key point, obviously redundancy for many people is painful, but as much as you can, try and remember it's not about you personally. It's about the economic climate, it's about the cuts, it's about restructuring. So as much as possible, try to take the emotion out of it and look at the bigger picture. I know it's difficult, but it's something you have to work through. But you are allowed to be upset, albeit for a while, and then you need to get back on track and get focused, and we'll talk more about that later. Some other key tips, absolutely essential: get the right support network. Something I learned, and I've seen so often with many of my clients, surround yourself with positive people. What really works is to find people who are going to boost you up and really give you that positive energy you need at a difficult time for you. And get professional help. You may think that you don't want to pay for any career development help, but I guarantee ultimately it will pay you and you will get a return on your investment. It's one of those things that by investing in your future, you will fast track your way to your next step. Regroup and reframe. I'm not a great one for Americanisms, but I do love this word reframing, because that's exactly what you have to do. You've got to look at things in a different way and then start to move forward. See things as an opportunity, as I mentioned earlier, rather than a threat. And again, something I've learnt and I've seen work so well with so many people over the years: manage your career transition as a project. Obviously any project has got to start, it's got to finish, you have to review it, you have to see what works and what doesn't work. And by taking a project approach with your career transition, you're going to have a much greater chance of success. Another key aspect is to network. So many people, when they leave their employment, doesn't matter who they work for, suddenly network seems like a chore, even though within the organisation, regardless of what you've been doing, most people network as a matter of course, and it becomes a part of working life. So network, both online and offline. And nowadays, everyone has the benefit of technology, and you have online platforms like LinkedIn, which is the professional version of Facebook, where you've got a great opportunity to put up a professional profile and really be seen and build up your online brand. And like I did, maybe, I've reconnected with people I haven't seen or heard from anything up to 30 years. So it's a great way of building your networks and finding like-minded people also through some of the groups online that can help you in terms of providing information about interests in your particular area, and also good connections to help move you forward in the future. But nothing replaces the offline. There's nothing better than actually meeting people face to face and actually building that rapport and actually finding people who genuinely want to help you to move forward. And that comes back to mindset. It's so important to project a positive and upbeat image. At a time when you might be feeling really down in the dumps, and it's tough for you to really sometimes even maybe get up in the morning and focus on seeing things as an opportunity, what you say to people, how you say it, and to whom is so important. It's something I've learnt time and time again. Great example, a few years ago I was running a outplacement program for a major railway company, and through no fault of their own, these guys were losing their jobs because the company had lost their franchise. And I was explaining the importance of the mindset and having this upbeat image and so on. And in walked this guy about half an hour late, and I said to him, look, firstly, not a good idea to come in late for this sort of event. You need to get your mindset right, get your focus right, and be talking about things in the right way. We've just covered this already. And he then launched into a tirade of things about redundancy this, redundancy that, and how the world was really getting him down. And the whole group was in laughter, but of course he didn't know why everyone was laughing, but they were actually laughing because we'd covered all this stuff earlier, and he was actually just giving absolute a great example of how not to react in this situation. So I explained all this to him, and the upshot was that 2 weeks later or so, when I met him on a one-to-one basis, he turned around to me and he said, Steve, I cannot believe the impact of what you said, and in terms of what you say, how you say it to who. He said, I hadn't realised how negative I was getting. And I bumped into a mate of mine recently, and you know, he's asking what I was doing, and I explained my situation, and I told him that I'm between jobs and looking for new opportunities, as you said we should describe ourselves. And my friend immediately said he wanted to help and what could he do and so on. And it turned out that when he mentioned that he was going to be considering moving out of his engineering role and into some role teaching engineering because he was possibly too long in the tooth, his friend actually told him that he had a really good contact at a local college and maybe he could make an introduction. Anyway, to cut a long story short, that introduction was made, and they got on really well, and as they say, the rest is history. And within literally a few weeks, this guy, Michael, had completely turned his life and his career around, and there he was thinking the end of the world had come as we know it, and he relaunched himself as a lecturer at a local college in his field of expertise. So again, this mindset, how you project yourself to people, it doesn't matter who they are and where you meet them, is so important. And finally on these tips, live the dream. Now is the time, now is the opportunity. You can really do what you want to do. You know, we've all had these thoughts in the past, what if, and most people do nothing about it. So great opportunity now, live the dream and really find something fulfilling.